Hey guys, welcome to another tutorial. This is going to be again on making bocage. A lot of you have previously seen my tutorials on Barkman's Corner, and I showed you how to do bocage and a few other techniques on there, but I've since revamped the technique, so I wanted to share with you kind of what I've been doing as of late. So basically what we're going to be making is we're going to be making this style hedge right here. This is the bocage that we're looking for. This is about a 1.5 inch height bocage. You can make it infinitely higher. It's up to you depending on the scale. Working in 100 scale, I tend to go about a 1.5 to a 2 inch height at the most. And then, of course, if you want to do Warhammer or anything like that, you probably want to go with maybe a 2.5 to a 3 inch height. So I'm a little far along on some of these. I left it in kind of 3 stages here. But what I first start off by doing is I start off by laying a foam strip down. And if you can see it on the camera, it's right here. It's in between these rocks. It's a white foam strip. It's 1 centimeter wide by about 0.5 centimeter tall. And what that does is that gives me something to lay my rock against, and it also allows me to cut down on the weight. The foam's considerably lighter than the actual rock surface. Once I have that down, I paint it black. It comes in white, so I paint it black just so that any holes through the rocks are not shown up and they look like shadow effect. The very next step that you need to do is you need to mix up your rock. I used to use pea gravel. It's pre-colored. It looks like that. What I do is I mix that in with a slurry of white glue, and then I apply it right over the foam, sloping it up on the edge, but leaving the center clear. Again, cutting down on weight. There's no need to put the rock in the center because you're going to be covering about 85% of the outside rock anyways. So 100% of the rock inside would be covered. So really, save yourself the rock, save yourself the weight, cut that down, and take that out. Once you have that done and it's dried, I would give that a full 24 hours to dry. When it's dry, it's not going anywhere, which is what you want. Certainly, even if you pick at it with your fingers, flick it, hit it, if anybody's that hard on your train, kick them out of your house. But I'm just saying that it's very hard and it's not going to go anywhere. So give that 24 hours to dry. Do a bunch. I have a whole bunch of sections all done. And then you're ready to go to step 2. Now, in my previous videos, what I did is I went around. Sorry, there's a rock. I went around and I took a drill and I drilled in tap holes every about inch and a half. And then I put a peg in there, and then I wrapped some wire, and then I laid the bocage over that. I have a much simpler technique now. It'll save you a lot more time, save you a lot of energy, and you'll get a lot more bocage done, and it won't be as time consuming or as tedious. What you need to do is you need to take a roll of mesh, wire mesh. Chicken wire works great. I use this stuff. It's a 0.5 centimeter grid. You can use 1 centimeter. I wouldn't go any bigger than that because then you run the risk of having your foliage fall through the holes. But take this stuff. It's pretty cheap. You can get about 3 linear feet for about maybe $6 at any hardware store. It's quite rigid. It's easy to bend, but at the same time it holds a shape. Now what you do is you take a piece and you cut. I use, typically, depends on how high I want to make it. Say I want to make an inch to 1.5 inch bocage. What I do is I take about 1.5 inch strip. Now this is going to be folded in half because if you put 1.5 inch strip down here, your bocage is actually going to be higher because you got the height of your foam and the height of your rocks. So take that into account. So what you do is you take your wire, you fold it in half, use a table edge, fold it in half, keep it in sort of a triangular shape. Don't fold it completely in half. Keep it in a triangular shape. At the end, you want to crimp one of the ends. So pinch the ends together and fold a little bit underneath at the end. What that's going to give you is a slight slope at the end, because obviously this slopes down. It's not a square. It's not a box hedge. You can do various things to change, because I mean this looks very straight. So if I put the foliage along there, it's relatively all the same height, it's going to give me a flat surface. Now you want that in some areas. I've done that over here. It looks okay. If you want to change it, I'll show you how to do it. Hopefully you can see this. Right along here, this is what you need to do. You need to set it over your surface. I pre-cut this one so I know that it's the length that I need. Cut it off at the end. To avoid hurting yourself, fold in the end pieces. This is a valuable technique. Leave the cut off pieces a little bit out. Those are teeth. Those are going to grab on to your foliage. Set it down on your piece where you have the rock. This one has a very slight bend. Put a slight bend in your wire. Crimp it in. Now it follows the contour of the rock. Place it on the rock. Try to get as many contact points as you can. The rock is not even, therefore it's not going to contact this perfectly. But set it down. Move it around. Is it there? That seems to be in a good spot. Hold it down with your fingers. Take your hot glue gun. Don't use anything else. Use hot glue because it's going to adhere very quickly. Find your contact points. Put a dollop of glue on all your contact points. Try to find at least 5 or 6, or a better rule of thumb, try to find a contact point every inch, inch and a half. Be generous with this. Don't worry, it's going to be all hidden. Let it set up. Give it a couple seconds to dry. If you get glue on your fingers like I did, take it off because it burns. There we go. Now, let that set up. Hold it down. Press it down in place. The glue will contact the rock as well. It will go over the wire to hold it in place. This stuff is super strong. I will show you how strong it is when we get it all done. So, as that's setting up, start thinking about if you want to have any rises. This is a long straight section, so I'm thinking I might do a little bit of a bump in here. And by a bump I mean have the bocage run and then have a little bit of a hump. What am I going to do for that? Well, I'm going to take, there you go. That's already rock solid, not going anywhere. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece. I have a piece of leftover wire that I cut off in another section. I'm going to open it up. It's a little long for what I want. So there we go. I'm just going to bend it into kind of a hump. It's basically arched. I'm going to come over my piece, lay that down onto the wire I just put down. What that's going to do is it's going to give me an artificial hump. So now it's going to start here, it's going to come up, it's going to go quite high, and then down. So this is going to be a little bit higher than that. Bocage does not grow to a uniform pattern. They did not take hedge trimmers and trim these 30-foot hedges or 20-foot hedges. So you will have some unruly areas that were a lot larger than others.